some news that I have and just give an update on my recovery blog. And yeah, it's been a wild couple of months for me. I took a leap of faith a couple of months ago with an idea and a vision and a pending patent, and didn't know how, I didn't know when, but I just knew that the vision that I had was worth chasing. And so I've spent, months, the last couple months especially, just grinding like 10, 12-hour days and getting everything ready. And first I launched Warranty Windows, and I launched that and started getting some jobs right away, and putting together some business statistics and just equity information for a pitch deck, along with my patent model. And it still hasn't sunk in yet, but I've officially taken on an equity partner, and I'm going to be releasing all that information kind of the 1st of May will be kind of a big announcement. But yeah, I'm going to be having all the resources and everything that I need to kind of bring this vision to full fruition. And with what I've been able to do completely on my own, with God's help, obviously, like, if it weren't for taking that leap in the first place and feeling that calling for something different for my life, and being willing to step out of that boat, not knowing how I was going to pay my rent the next month, or continue to maintain a certain lifestyle that I was become used to. It's a different mindset of living, and there's nobody else to tell you when to punch in, to tell you when to get up or what to go do. You're completely on your own initiative. And I encountered and met someone in the recent last few years here that became a good acquaintance, and then recently kind of a lot closer, more of like a mentor. And all it takes is one person to believe in you, that can change your whole world in an instant. And so you never know who's watching. God is always watching. And if you're like surrendering to, like, all right, whatever this looks like, I'm doing it, and you let yourself be filled with that vision, amazing things can happen. And to think that less than a half a dozen years ago I was beginning this whole recovery journey, and here I am now, self-employed, entering into a season of my life that I never would have imagined. And I used to have so much self-pity and insecurity, and I went through a breakup last year, and that kind of really knocked me down at first. But this is where our trials are a cause for celebration and rejoicing, because if I hadn't gone through all that and been stretched to the limit of searching deep inside myself to see what I'm truly made of, to push myself for something more in my life, and just not be willing to settle for the same old lifestyle that I used to. That was how my addiction worked. And since I've left all that behind, it's been continuously getting and growing. I feel like I've been growing stronger and stronger with like my faith and where this is going and where God is bringing me. But not only that, I don't have to stress. Like, normally, doing something with this much risk in my life earlier and just taking that leap, I would have, the anxiety would have eaten me alive. But when you have this mindset that, it's already written, all I got to do is show up. And big homie's gonna do the rest. Because if you guys knew what I know about my own capability, I'm not super overly talented in any stretch of the means, you know, across the board of averages. But I've just been inspired with the right idea in the right set of circumstances with the right skill set. And it's only something that I think God could have. There's too many coincidences between my career paths and my. It's just amazing to me that this is where I am now. And I'm excited for this journey, but I also know that, like, the struggle is still not over, and there's a lot more to, you know, like, the higher you climb, the higher the risk, and the farther you fall. And so, like, that's how we get to the top. We don't make it the first try, but we climb a little bit, we'll fall, and what happens? We grow stronger. We climb higher the next time, and then we fall again, and guess what? It doesn't hurt as much. Our confidence starts coming back. We start climbing higher. We start pushing ourselves further. And it takes a few weeks to develop a habit. And as you begin to develop a habit and you push yourself day after day and you shut yourself out from the world, like I've been blessed with the opportunity to do. And I used to feel so much pity about, like, oh, why? Like, I'm still don't have this in my life or that in my life. And it's like, you can look back if you push through those seasons in life and you look back and realize, like, wow, that was not that was not isolation. It was solitude. It was the solitary confinement of learning how to love yourself. Because if you can't do that, if you can't believe in yourself, how do you expect anybody else to? You can't allow someone else to want your dream and chase your vision more than you. And so, if you're able to maintain yourself, and these are the things that I've been coaching myself in my mind when times get tough and when the voices of doubt come, and you just learn to understand and realize that it's not as bad as all that. It's never as bad as all that. And I'm just so blessed to be able to be in a situation where I understand who I am and the direction I'm going in life. And I may not have, like, the GPS coordinates yet. Like, I don't know what that final destination looks like. But I do have a compass, and I do know where north is. And so, if I can go from being just nothing, completely dependent on substance abuse, without anything going for me or any sort of, like, direction in life, to overcoming that and surviving what statistics show is one of the most deadliest opiate epidemics that the world has ever seen, when I know I shouldn't. I know I shouldn't. There's so many people that I've known that are amazing, wonderful people, fathers and mothers that didn't make it. And I don't know why. But I do know that if you've struggled and overcome something like that, and you've cared about people that have lost that fight, then what better way to live your life than showing other people that you don't have to go down like that? It changes the whole purpose for living. It changes the whole reason to get up every day. You're not just living for yourself anymore. You're living for something outside of yourself that's more important than you. And when you have children, the biggest part of my shame is for the years that I spent doing something other than being a good father. Because those are years that you can't take back. And so the only thing you could do is fight right now, every day that you wake up, with another chance now to earn that trust back with consistency, hard work, dedication, and just a complete unwillingness to give up and never stop listening to that calling as it gets louder and louder. Because it'll start as a still small whisper, and you keep listening and you keep heading that direction and don't let anything get in your way. You'll wake up one day and look around in awe at the ineffable transformation that you've experienced without having to do all the struggling and plotting and twisting and bending over backwards trying to make it all happen and turn stones into bread. Because when it's meant to happen, it happens, baby. It does. I'm telling you. When it's meant to happen, it does. And it's the most amazing thing in any aspect of your life to not be stretching to fit something that's unequally yoked in your life and put a square peg in a round hole, or try to struggle every day just so that people can try to understand you, because you've become so insecure with your life from the way that you've lived that the only way you know how to love yourself is by getting that acceptance from the world. And the facade of the pop culture and social media that is eating this country alive. There is so much division right now between left and right, and the people that are at each other's throats strangling each other don't even know that they're fighting two sides of the same coin, because we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. This is a struggle about something that's much higher and different. And you can see it in the way that people act and are treating each other. How can it be anything other than spiritual warfare to look in what's going on in Gaza right now? Or to not look. To intentionally not look. And so, this isn't about any of that. This is about what it means to actually surrender like everything that you have in accordance for something greater that you truly believe that God has in front of you and put in your life and is shining light on. And if it's meant to happen, you will experience what it's like to just know. There's a difference between believing in something and knowing something. And I reached a certain point in my journey where I didn't have to believe anymore, because I knew. And once you know, you can't ever forget it. You can't ever unknow. That's the doorway between transformation and change. To where a person with bad habits will change and go back. But a caterpillar transforms into a butterfly. It's a one-way trip. Metamorphose. And so I just, I appreciate everybody that supported me. You know, even in the dark times. And I know there was a long period of years where I was, I was MIA. And there's a very small, I can count on one hand the people that were there. And I just really appreciate it, because I couldn't have done it without the support of my family and the few friends that have always had my back and been in my corner. And so if you guys are struggling, or just you feel like life is tough, I'm telling you, the flames are what make the gold. Pressure and time are what make the diamond shine. These are the things that we rejoice in, because the testing of our faith produces the type of endurance for us to become the type of people that we need to be to carry the load that we're meant to. And so, you guys, I just hope you have a great weekend. God bless. Keep shining, and just keep punching back, because this world is a shit show, and it'll eat you alive. And just pay attention to only what's important. I'm trying to only focus on what's important and forget all the other BS out there right now.